Hey, it's Don, the auction professor here. I wanted to call out something that actually is worth a small fortune on their own, something that can turn up in garages, attics, basements, your grandparents' belongings, your parents' belongings. We'll cut over right now and show you this rarity. So today we're going to talk about Andy Warhol covers to records. He didn't design these trying to be an artist on the cover. He designed them just for cheap work. This was earlier in his career. They're for mundane types of records that most people won't even be thinking about. Even record collectors, high-end record collectors, haven't a clue on many of these. I've been to record shows and even pulled a few of these out in my time. They show up in collections as well, your grandparents, your parents. This one right here is for Spanish lessons. He designed the artwork. Little known, many people aren't even aware that he designed the covers on these, which I thought was interesting. Most people miss them because of that reason. Some of these aren't signed. Some of them just say AW for Andy Warhol. Now, there's several additions to this. There's a first record, second record. They belonged in a set, separated or not. They always go for some insane amount of money. This one went for over $7,000, almost $8,000. Prices go up and down, these fluctuate, but these are something that you could turn up. When record buyers are out there looking, they're looking for rock, old soul, and specific jazz records. Many will miss these because of the covers or won't even look at them. Now, there's other ones that are Andy Warhol covers, but these alone will make you a ton of money. Here's another one. Now, this is a 45. These show up in big bunches of stuff for classical. Most people don't realize Andy Warhol did the cover. Now, Camden is a cheap budget label. They don't go for a ton of money, most any other Camden. But because it's an Andy Warhol cover, this one went for $5,400. Again, these are ones that most people miss. Now here's another one by Lou White, another classical, 45, cardboard sleeve. Now if this didn't have Andy Warhol cover artwork, it wouldn't be worth but $1 at the most. Lou White records just don't sell for much money other than this specific. And as I've said, these are missed all the time, constantly. You may have one of these and just not realized it. You may have even taken your records to a record store and they had no clue about this specific one. Most people immediately pass it by when they realize what type of music it is. Music means nothing. You are only buying this for the cover if you're spending $3,800. So let's move on to a couple other ones. Next one here is for an LP, The Nation's Nightmare. Again, these are budget records. They weren't made to be valuable. There's not great performances on it. There's nothing really special on it other than the cover, which garners thousands of dollars. This one went for $3,100. Let's look at another one here. This is Cool Gabriel's. This is kind of like a religious music, if I'm not mistaken. If it wasn't the Andy Warhol cover, it wouldn't be worth much at all. It wouldn't even be worth buying to sell. But this one here, because of the cover, is worth at least $2,000. Next one here is Arthur Fiedler. He is a classical conductor with the Boston Pops. If this was, again, not a Andy Warhol cover, it would be worth $1 or less. As an Andy Warhol cover, it's worth a few $1,000s. Not marked. If you didn't know that, you would pass this up right by. You wouldn't even think a thing of it. Most 45 classicals aren't worth much at all. I just don't mess with them other than this type here. Here's another one, a Camden again, $2,000 for this one. It's a Strauss Waltz's, very common music, but the cover itself is Andy Warhol. Another one, this is Vladimir Horowitz. This one here goes for some good money also. All of these type of classical that he did the cover to go for at least $1,000 on average. All he did was the piano artwork on the left side there. It still garners $1,000 no matter what. Now here's a Kenny Burrell. This is on Blue Note, so it has a double interest. A typical Blue Note by him probably is worth $1,000 or better anyway, but this has doubled it because Warhol did the cover. This is nicely signed though, so you can't miss this one. Most Blue Notes are worth some money anyway, but the Andy Warhol covers again are worth a fortune. Now here's another Blue Note by Johnny Griffin. $3,000 because of the Warhol artwork on the cover. Most of the time these sell for at least $1,000 because of that. Blue Note jazz do go for some good money, but the Warhol covers are well sought after and well collected by a wide range of collectors. Now, the most famous one by Andy Warhol is this one here, which is The Velvet Underground in Nico. He produced the record itself. The banana on the front cover is actually peelable, where you can remove it, and then there's like a pinkish colored inside for the banana. This is one of the highest selling records on record. There was one specific version of this that went for, I think, a couple $100,000, if I'm not mistaken. On average, though, this one of any type, as long as it's an original, good condition record of this, goes for around $1,000. You can see it on the cover, produced by Andy Warhol. He actually did the design for the cover. Now, this one here went for 20 grand. Just another example. This is just from a few years ago. This record here has gone for some insane amounts of money. One that's missed quite often. As long as the cover is the peelable banana version, it's usually worth some good money, at least $1,000, as I said. This is just a touch on it. There's other artists such as Picasso who did covers that are worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars, if not thousands. But this is just a touch on the Andy Warhol covers, which, as you can see, do bring a small fortune for some of them. But that's what I have for you today. Well, there you go. That's another item you should be looking for. Hopefully that gave you some ideas and some thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell a friend.